Thank you. Have a nice day. I'm an ex-air traffic controller, and I love ZZ Top and Johnny Mathis. But when I get a shortwave radio that goes, and I got these men coming into my living room for a very short time, and then they leave. I'm thrilled. Okay, I am promoting, moving right along, I am promoting my Flying Flamingo Refuge YouTube channel. What? All right, peanut gallery. And what my goal is in all of this is to get people who are depressed, unmedicated, stupid, and fanatical to find another way to express their anger than picking up a gun and aiming it at people. My father taught me when he taught me to hunt, only kill things you're gonna eat. And I don't like human flesh, only Jeffrey knows that too. But anyway, that's my goal for getting up here. And each time I'm up here, I'm expressing what bothered me this week, what pissed me off, what my favorite sport is. But tonight I want to share with you a painting I did in '07, I think, if I can read the small print. When I was diagnosed with severe unmedicated depression, borderline personality disorder, narcissism, OCD, obsessive compulsive kind of. I was a mental basket case, and I got into art therapy at the VA, and I told my therapist, I said, just give me a canvas, give me a canvas, give me paint, give me water, give me a brush, and don't bother me. Okay, so this painting is an expression of all the assholes that were my supervisors in my life that caused and perpetuated my chronic atrial fib for 35 years. I had a cardiac ablation last May. I'm off. Went to the doctor this morning. She said, well, what medication are you on? And I used to say, diltiazem and Eliquis. And I said, oh my God, 100 milligrams of Zoloft. She said, is that all? I said, it keeps me from killing people. Like this. So I'm gonna show you the painting. So those of you who are regulars on a monthly basis, and I hope everybody is, go to my YouTube channel, Flying Flamingo Refuge, and see 7 videos out there of my expression of what pissed me off this week or society, and subscribe and share, because more people out there need to hear what I have to say, and I would love to get more veterans up here. I met a guy named Julian who's not here tonight, and asked him, told him he just has to come on stage and see how easy it is to talk. I mean, even if you put God sitting on the credenza back there, whatever that thing is, standing there going, okay, Kellogg, spit it out. Then just talk to that person. And when I found God in 2017, I won't bore you with the details, but I go straight to the man upstairs. And so when I can't express myself through painting because of my shaking disorder, I sit God down in my favorite chair and I talk to him. And it's a he, okay? And he helps me get the energy, I empower myself to come up here and share my trauma with you. Remember, comedy is just a funny way of being serious. So you ready? Those of you who know me are going to look at this and go, now that's why she's the way she is. And those of you who don't know me are going to go, oh my God, Kellogg, you were screwed up. And yes, I was. If you can't see all those assholes going up that yellow escalator, stair-stepping, okay? See all those little donuts going up the escalator? You see how some, now I won't be able to hold this very long because my hands are starting to shake, so if somebody wants to come up and help me, that would be nice. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay. All those little assholes going up to the are part of a hypnosis session I had in 2005 when I had a mental breakdown as a technical editor for the C-130 with the Navy at Nellis Air Force Base, and I was bullied. Of course, I looked like a man. I think I have too much testosterone because I look better in 14 and a half 33 shirts and 44-inch cargo pants than I do in a dress. Okay. The dress is nice. I wear shorts under my dresses, okay, because they have pockets. So here I am in the church parking lot pulling up my, okay, I'm on the subject. Okay, so all the assholes that get smaller and smaller up there have decided, I decided that I didn't need them. I could purge them, and they were SOBs anyway, and I have the rest of my life to tell you stories about them. But they got atomized to the universe. That's what all the wispy stuff is. And whether Jesus or the devil was there to catch them, I don't care. Okay? As long as they left me alone. All right? So the red, white, and blue at the bottom is my attempt at freedom. And I'm studio number 23 at the Prescott Studio Arts Tour the first weekend in October. I'm out in Chino, and all of my paintings are an anthology starting from this painting all the way through the freedom of who I am up here now. Okay, so studio number 23, this, my Flying Flamingo Refuge, and I want to promote Rebecca right here. If you've never heard of Thai massage, it's, what is it? Liquid yoga? No. What is it? It's yoga being done to you. She comes to my house. I have to get dressed in long pants and a t-shirt, which you guys would love because you don't have to bear it down like this. And she rolls parts of her body into you and stretches all the synovial fluids here and your legs. And my favorite is when she puts her feet in my back and walks her feet up my back, and I'm doing a natural back bend that I could never do in gymnastics in high school. And my back is going, and she said, you no longer have bubble wrap along your spinal column. So anyway, she's available. I don't know her phone number by heart, but she's on vacation and she will be back in September. Okay, so that's Rebecca Hagman. And the other thing I gotta promote. Okay, I'm done with this. Thank you. Your drink ticket is on the table. The other thing I want to promote is my partner, who's not here, good, asked me today, do you want some brisket? And I was like, the brisket I've had in this town sucks. I don't care where you go. Brisket to me has to be juicy and fatty and melt in your mouth. And I was like, okay. So there's a new barbecue. Those of you who've been here, where Cattleman's is on Sheldon, the line was out the door today. It's called Lucy's Barbecue. And that brisket was so delicious that on my scientifically engineered weight loss program, my little bell said, that's all, Kellogg. That's all. And I was like, but there's a whole pound in the fridge. And the food advocate's like, let's go heat it up. And I was like, no, we don't do that anymore. So anyway, Lucy's Barbecue, sandwiches, ribs, probably everything barbecued under the sun. I haven't seen the menu, but I can tell you their brisket is to die for. Okay? And you don't even need any, yeah, anyway. Okay. I think I'm done promoting. So, all right, subject of the day. Oh God, he's gonna start the timer. About 4 years ago, I noticed this show on the History Channel called Naked and Afraid, okay? And that was, kind of when I was into Survivor and things like that. But the Alaskan bush people are so stupid and so fake and so dumb that they're not even part of my repertoire, so I'll just kind of squish them out the door. But Naked and Afraid, I watched it because I thought it was so stupid. And I kind of watched it for the stupid factory. Like, how can people do that? I mean, I can go out in my backyard and get naked and run in the moonlight, which I have been known to do. I've been known to ride my riding lawnmower in the moonlight in my fenced backyard in Georgia. Scared that somebody would come out and see these boobs hanging out, you know, but now that I don't have those boobs, it's wonderful. I got rid of those in April. And the video's out there. It's okay. And so I tell you, I watch April and May video, and I just laugh and I go, God, that's on the internet. You're asking people to share it worldwide. Your family disowned you for that because I was unabashed, risque, and honest. And I went, yeah. So I'm out there, okay? And so Naked and Afraid, I just watched it for a little bit, and I said, this is stupid. So I didn't watch it for a while. And then all of a sudden, last week, I got an epiphany, probably a dream, maybe too much THC in my pucks. Like last night, I think, never mind, that's next month. I asked for CBD pucks from the Prescott Valley Pot Shop, and my sweet cowboy said, okay, so he brought me THC pucks with 10% CBD. I didn't know this. I was used to the CBD gummies, so I ate the whole thing. Well, I called him. And I said, you know, before I started tripping, I was able to read the package on the puck. And it said 10% CBD. He said, well, it's CBD, isn't it? And I was like this, you know. And I said, that's okay. I said, how long is it going to last? Oh, about 6 hours. It lasted 6 hours. I'm allergic to THC. I mean, it sends me this little kitschy, stupid wallpaper on my house that I've hated for 2 years since I bought it. All of a sudden turned into something that was wonderful. All I saw were these stupid flowers, but in my hobby yesterday, nicely, I wasn't driving. I don't keep a good drive, I couldn't even go to the bathroom. What I saw was this fat lady on a Vespa scooter going away from me in my man cave. It used to be called a galleria, but since I have too much testosterone, I think it's called a man cave, so forget it. But anyway, I just was sitting there, and all of my addicts came in. And they were like, oh, good, you're out of debt, we can do this. And I was like, no, just leave me alone, like this. So Naked and Afraid, there's a guy and a girl, and they always do a bio and a promo of how great, and then they're talking about how great they are. and I love to watch it now. 4 years ago it was stupid, but I watch it now for entertainment because it's a prime example of human social behavior in a hostile environment. And I don't know the expectations these people have, but they're totally self-sabotaged. Oh, I want to prove to the world that I'm worthy. The world doesn't give a flying. Can I say the F word? Okay, kids, have your ears. The world doesn't care that you're going out naked in the Mississippi swamp for 21 days, okay? And if you're not prepared to be naked and alone with no food, no water, living on water snakes and cottonmouths, why even waste the space on television? But it's my favorite sport, is watching these people get crushed in their ego and their bravado. The rooster in the barnyard going, I'm the chief, I'm the queen bee here. And it's always the men that tap first. The women are left, okay, this guy today I was watching in the Mississippi swamp. Oh, I'm good at the fire, and I'm great this, and I believe that a woman has the gathering, and I have to be the provider. And I'm like, you're full of shit. Like this. And you just wait. So I make bets as to how many days it's going to be before he taps. Well, I'm used to eating 5 meals a day, and I haven't had anything but a lizard 3 days ago. I'm exhausted. So he quit working. And the woman going, now the woman had done 14 days in the African safari by herself because her male partner attacked after 5 days because he couldn't stand it anymore. So I love to see the male ego get crushed and humbled. It is my favorite sport. Okay? I do watch golf. I'll tell you how boring. I do watch golf. But that's Naked and Afraid. And so I taped 5 of them. And I'm just like, okay, anybody old enough to remember the movie Lord of the Flies?
Woo!
If you haven't seen Lord of the Flies, it's Naked and Afraid times, how many kids were there? 20? I saw it like 10 times. Anyway, Lord of the Flies is kind of like my rendition of what we should do with criminals. We should block off a section, which is I think 100 miles by 100 miles of somewhere in the Midwest, and put concertina wire and 10-foot chain link, and get all the criminals out of all the death rows and all of the prisons, and put them in that space, and make them stay and form a society, but not be allowed out of the chain link fence.
Clean up time?
If they all kill themselves, that's fine, because it saves taxpayers a lot of money. Did you say something?
I said clean up time!
Oh, it's time? Okay. Well, anyway, one more story about how I had fun crushing the male ego. Okay. In 1986, I was in a 12-week electronics class with the Air Force on active duty, and the Air Force, when you're in a scheduled school, they always pick a class leader. Well, the class leader is whoever has the highest commissioning date. I was an officer. Well, mine was July 12th, 1979, and there was Mr. Rooster strutting his stuff. His ego came through the door before he did. He was one arrogant asshole, and he's probably one of those, probably several of those on that painting. Okay, he comes in and he's like, I'm the queen, you know, like this. Anyway, he was the rooster. And the instructor said, okay, I'm going to go through the roster and pick the class leader. And he said, Kellogg, you're the class leader. And I was like, oh, shit. I have to deal with this asshole like this. But let me tell you, I had a chief call me into his office. And he said, Kellogg, would you quit emasculating the men in the squadron? And if you don't know what emasculating is, it's verbally ripping the balls off any man. Okay? And I did it because men are just from Mars. And we're from Venus, and when we vent, we don't want you to fix our problems. We want you just to listen and say, yes, dear. Okay? And when you have, and that's why, anyway, that's next month. Okay, do I really have to get off this? Okay, I kind of made you kind of get my point. Flying Flamingo Refuge on YouTube, Facebook. You can go to my Facebook page, and there's a picture of me in a Speedo bathing suit with a steel helmet on and my combat boots going like this. Because we went through a chemical warfare decontamination thing when I was in the Guard, and they said we were going to go all the way through to the underwear. Well, that was in the newsletter, and men don't read newsletters. So I went all the way through the decon, and I was ready to straight. They said, okay, Kellogg, we know that you dance naked in the moonlight. I said, no, guys, watch this. And I had this beautiful Speedo, and it was buffed and everything. And they're like, oh, thank you, like this. And so I posed, and I took a picture, and I posted it on my Facebook page. And I love it because I'll never see that figure again. Okay, it's quilt time. Stop the quilt time. 4 chairs, in this restaurant have tags on